Martin County's Heritage Station.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the program host and guest, and not necessarily those of this station, management, staff, and sponsors. WSTU does not endorse products that may be mentioned. Any reproduction or retransmission of this broadcast is strictly prohibited without written consent of WSTU. It's time now for the Crown Car Care Show. Call in with questions and comments, 220-9788, 220-WSTU. Now, here's your host.
If you're a new listener, welcome aboard. We have a full hour here of car news, car information, how to fix them sometimes yourself.
Yes.
If you want to bring it to a great repair shop, I have two of them here in Martin County. Crown Car Care. I have one on Cove Road in Stewart, almost heading into Hobe Sound there, Oceanside. And I have another shop in Palm City over there on 714.
Where the construction is nearly done.
It is.
Yes.
It's looking good.
Yes.
And been there quite a while. Have a full staff, both shops full, a shop full of equipment, a shop full of cars, and friendly staff in the front. And we will gladly take your phone call, set an appointment up for you, and get you right in. If you call over to my Cove Road store, and all you got to do is look at my Google reviews, look on any search engine or on the internet or online phone book, you can get my information. It's very easy to find. It's Crown Car Care. But if you go to Cove Road, you'll talk to Brooks or Nicole. And if you call Palm City, you will talk to Kristen. And I just hired a new girl, and her name it's a great name. It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember, but we have two women over at the Palm City store ready to serve you. Big parking lots in both places, easy to get to, easy to get into. They're beautiful waiting rooms. I believe there's TV in both. We have a fish tank over at the Cove Road store. They have friendly technicians, and we have great prices, great service. Give us a try.
Okay.
And try out our show for
I've
an
been
hour
in
here.
both stores.
Yeah, you've been in both.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're just so glad to be here. So, 31st of January?
Yes.
What an exciting day to be alive. It's the last day of January.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you believe it? The month is already gone.
Oh, well, I sure enjoyed this month. It was great.
Mhm.
Some cool weather here around, and I like it.
Yeah.
I do like it a lot. And Frank, you've been doing this radio show with me for years.
Yes.
Long time.
Yes.
Well,
enjoy
let's
the
get
heck
right.
out of it.
A lot of times, if you're new here, we'll talk about the news. You got any news for me, Frank? Anything good to tell me?
Well, I don't know if it's good, but we've got some news for
Well,
you. So we know about the EV range issue.
With cold weather.
Cold temperatures hurt EV range and the charging times. And there's a complete article for our listeners to go to. If they go to automotivenews.com, they can read the entire article on that.
Now, there is a way, if it's called preconditioning of your battery before you charge it or before you get ready to drive it.
Okay.
There's a process, and a lot of people don't know the process and just end up with a horrible range on their vehicle. And it's because they just don't know the right process. We should talk about this. I'm not going to talk about it tonight because it's a whole nother topic.
Show,
but
yeah.
It's about starting your car up beforehand and warming up the battery. It's a whole process you do. But it enhances your mileage. In cold weather, basically, with electricity and batteries, everything slows down.
Yeah.
So you have to warm up the battery, basically, is what's going on.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about it sometime.
All right. Yeah.
It's good information.
Yeah. Ford is already providing free adapters to connect to Tesla EV chargers.
Yeah. That's a bit of good news for Ford, although I will say on the flip side, with their pickup truck, they call it the Lightning.
Yes.
Named after their truck from the late mid-90s that they made, a Lightning, which was for fast.
Yes.
And they kind of played on the word and now use lightning as in electricity.
Yeah.
But they're in not doing too well. They're not selling, basically.
Yeah.
And they've had to lay off I'm not going to say, I think a third of their workforce has been laid off. They're shutting down the lines. People aren't buying these electric trucks. And I don't know if it's fitness of purpose, if it's not proper education with the consumers going into the Ford dealers, which I think I may lean towards due to my experiences. It seems to me that they're might not have the product knowledge, the franchise dealers.
Right. Right.
To really be able to expound upon the virtues of the electric truck. And there are some.
Sure.
But the other thing is the range on them. If you do any kind of work with them, it's horrible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're using it commercially, it's a no-go.
Yeah. Yes.
It's a no-go.
Absolutely.
You're going to have blueprint. That should be a blueprint hauler truck. Haul blueprints. That's what they're made for.
Okay.
And you're not made for towing or hauling.
No.
Your
no.
range goes to nothing and you're pushing.
Light paper products. So we're good.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Dash cams are exploding in popularity amid road rage fatalities. So, yeah. So, of course, this is already very popular, and of all places, Russia. You cannot drive a car in Russia without having a dash cam. There's just so much online dash cam videos, and from Europe and Russia, they just seem to like that.
I don't know what causes this. I think the quickening of the world has sped things up, and it just shortens people's tempers.
Well, yeah,
and it causes road rage and things like that. And it's a shame.
yes, and they need to take a line from Madagascar the movie and just
smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah, so just got to do that.
I like that. Pretty good.
Yes. And Japanese officials, this of course came from you, Todd. Japanese officials raid a Toyota Group plant after the company admitted cheating on engine testing. So that's a big headline.
So what have we had? We've had Cummins has been accused of it, right? Volkswagen's been accused of it, and now Toyota.
Yeah, fudging the paperwork, right?
Anyone else? Are there any other soldiers to fall and just we don't know about it yet, or
maybe?
I suspect there's others.
It could be.
I suspect.
Yes.
Some of the tests are tough. I mean, it's tough to. If you're close on the numbers on what they want it to be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
We may have to have another show on the EPA and how Todd feels about it, but I don't know if we broadcast it.
Okay.
There's things that we should do and
Yes.
can do, and then there's things that are
outside
just
our bounds.
doesn't work.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that I feel don't work. Some of the nitrous oxide requirements on vehicles is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's especially diesels, and now they're going to be putting them NOx scrubbers on gas cars, which is just it's no,
Wow.
no.
It's going to add more cost.
It's just
Yeah.
they're not reliable. They break and they shut down, and it's
Right.
just it just is a situation that it's a shame.
Yeah.
Because we've had a whole show on this, is the forcing the hand of the manufacturers in the automotive industry, forcing their hand, whether it be safety or emissions, has what's created the innovation of why we love our cars today.
Right.
You wouldn't have what you have today
That's true.
if it wasn't for the arms of the government and the
Kind of
agencies forcing
leaning-
manufacturers to come up with more efficient designs. That's what led to fuel injection. That's what's led to variable cam timing. And from a safety perspective, ultimately, it's led up to the airbag.
Yes.
Now, how are airbags?
What a great lead in. So Takata has got more problems. There's another recall.
never knew that. Boy,
Yes, tens of millions of vehicles with Takata airbags are under recall. Long-term exposure to high heat and humidity can cause airbags to explode when deployed. Sounds like
so it's not that they're not deploying. It's when they deploy, they explode.
yes, so it's a little bit like a grenade. So you get shrapnel, and so it's not a good experience.
No.
NHTSA urges vehicle owners to take a few simple steps to protect themselves and others from this very serious threat to safety. Do not drive certain Dodge Ram first trucks. Passenger side Takata airbags, there was already a fatality.
Oh, no. That's
So,
a shame.
I have a short 1 minute,
Sure.
few odd seconds video.
Play it.
We'll
Of
play it
course.
as
Yeah, play
the
it.
audio is good.
Good.
So we'll see if that'll give us a little more professional skew on this.
There are currently millions of cars on the road under recall for potentially deadly airbags. So why are some airbags causing deaths and injuries and crashes? The problem is with a chemical inside the airbag that works to inflate the airbag during a crash. In a crash, the airbag can explode, shooting sharp metal fragments at the driver and passengers. This can cause serious injury or death. The greatest risk is in older vehicles, especially vehicles driven in hot and humid areas. So how can you find out if your vehicle is under
Florida.
recall? Visit nhtsa.gov/recalls now. Don't wait. Because the number of recalled airbags is increasing, check nhtsa.gov regularly to see if your vehicle has a dangerous airbag by using our free VIN lookup tool and signing up for recall alerts. If you have a recall, call your local dealer and get it fixed for free. Airbags are an important safety feature that help keep you and your family safe. If you learn your car has an airbag recall, contact your dealer immediately and get it fixed right away. And remember, the repair is free. At NHTSA, we believe safe cars save lives. Check for recalls at nhtsa.gov/recalls.
All right.
You know, what I was most impressed with was the quality of the sound on that thing.
Yes, great audio.
I wonder how they do that. I'd be fascinated. It was just real silent, and it was a soothing silence. So when you listen to his voice, it like matched it, and it was even easier to listen to. It was very
Right.
good.
Right. Yes.
There was a symmetry between the silence and his voice that wasn't a hard transition.
Right.
It was easy to listen to.
These audio technicians now that
Do you follow what I'm
do-
saying? It
oh,
was just
sure.
well made.
Oh, yes.
I
And
mean, it doesn't match your massive boards of electronics that you have that you control like the mad scientist, like in a
Yes.
Frankenstein movie. Dun, 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 like an
What?
organ player, you know.
right.
dun,
Da,
dun,
da,
dun.
da.
That's Frank.
Yeah.
Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 or 5 boards here. Machines, blinking lights.
Everything.
I feel like I'm in a spaceship.
That's it.
It's-
That's it. Exactly.
It's
yeah.
the world headquarters, of course.
Of course. Yes. So, okay. So that completes our,
Yeah. I've got,
update of stuff going
well,
on.
let's give it a tinny area of what the show is going to be. I'm going to talk a few things. I have I love to pick up information from Consumer Reports. It's
Yes.
unbiased, accurate at a high degree. I would
Pretty
say.
reliable. Yeah.
Very reliable.
Mhm.
March issue. So the March. That's how fast they send them out. It's not even February yet. Wow. I got March.
They're already leaning into the future.
So a couple things in here that are most interesting. And, we talk about anything car related.
Mhm.
If you go to rent a car, you ever wonder how the fees work if you go into a toll plaza? Think about that one, audience. And how does it work? Because there's some interesting things you should be aware of. Many car companies charge a daily fee to use their toll transponders. Okay. Avis, Alamo, Budget, Enterprise, and National charge $3.95 to $4.95 a day. You can choose to opt in when you pick up the rental. The problem is that opting out can trigger even bigger fees.
Oh,
Isn't this
whoa.
interesting?
Yeah.
Hertz, for example, charges $4.95 to use its transponder if you activate it in advance, but $9.99 a day if you opt out.
Oof.
This is some pretty slippery slope fees that they're
Ah.
trying to pull. So if you're renting a car out there, pay attention.
Read the
Remember,
fine
it's the
print.
little fees. It's like going to a hotel and the resort fees and all the other stuff. It adds up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
pay attention to that with your rental cars. It's good information.
Good
there.
to know. Yes.
The other bit of information, I was talking earlier with Frank about this. This is 2021 data, so it's fairly accurate. It was from AAA, which is the America's Automobile Association.
Mm-hmm. AAA.
So the average cost
Yes.
to repair a tire or wheel from damage done by going over a pothole,
Mm-hmm.
it's $600 and $221 in 2021 numbers.
Right.
So I don't know, it's probably even more than that now, $750, I would think, with
Yeah.
inflation.
Sure.
But that's a big number.
Sure it is.
And that's average. So there's, with average, we all know there's higher and lower.
Hmm.
And you add them together and divide by how many incidents there are. It's not median, that's average. So that's a high number. And you had something happen to you, Frank, didn't you?
Many years ago, driving a Chrysler Voyager.
Where was it at?
Dodge on East Ocean.
East Ocean.
And taking my family home, I think from church.
Yep.
And went over on East Ocean. They have those little water caps inside the road.
Yep.
Access caps. And one got inverted somehow.
Oh, boy.
I didn't notice it. It didn't look any different than maybe a crinkled piece of red paper.
And when
or
you see it,
blue
it's too
paper.
late. You're already going over it.
Right. And so I hit it with my tire, my wheel, and drove home. Everybody was a little shook up when we hit it because we hit it hard, right?
Yeah, because remember, that's cast iron, those
Right.
things.
Yeah. So we hit it hard, but everybody's fine. So we continued on, went home. And a few moments later, after we got into the driveway, tire is flat.
Oh no!
So I had to replace the wheel. Of course.
So the wheel you had to replace it, and this is where the higher cost comes in. Many
Yes.
times, if you hit something hard enough, you'll bend the rim.
Yes.
And I'll tell you today, it can get even worse with low profile tires. And I don't know if we've ever talked about low profile tires, but it's the distance from the edge of the tread to the rim.
Right.
Low profile would be very little tire there.
Yeah, very little. Yeah.
And in fact, if you're low on air, you could bottom out and hit rim.
Yeah.
That's the problem with low profile tires.
Right.
You have no cushion.
No.
No pushing for the cushion, or no cushion for the pushing.
No, nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, can't push the car forward.
I've heard that word before.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. I have no idea. Anyways, but yeah, so it's low profile tires. I don't know why.
Handling, less flex on the sidewalls. It's
Okay.
more racing aspect. Like my Shelby, my
Right.
Mustang, my green Shelby has low profile.
Okay, so you can make sharper turns,
Right, and don't have any flex.
and so you won't lean into the turn.
Yeah,
so
but you're
bad.
basically riding on a rim.
Right.
Right. Although I'll tell you, we never talked about this either. There's advances in tire or airless tires.
Yes.
Goodyear. In fact, we should do a show on tires, just
Good.
on the advances in tires coming.
Yes, they have like a mesh that
Yeah.
you can buy.
Yeah, and the tires. We've not talked about hybrid tires. We did a little bit, I think, last week or the week before, maybe about the rate at which they wear
Yes.
on hybrids and electric cars is huge compared to regular cars. It's the weight.
Yeah.
It's the weight of the vehicle. So $600 for the average cost. It's kind of a lot.
Yeah. A little pricey.
How about this one? Here's a poll for you, Frank. What do you think? If you don't fasten your seatbelts in the back seat, should the light beep and go on the dash like it does on the passenger side?
Should it? Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
And it doesn't. You know that.
Yeah.
You do not have to fasten your rear seatbelts.
No.
And I can tell you,
But that's so that mom and dad can keep an eye on the kiddies.
but you're 55% less likely to be injured, according to a recent study by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration,
Right.
if you're wearing a seatbelt in the back seat to be injured.
Right.
55% less likely
Right.
to be injured.
Right.
I always wear my seatbelt.
Sure. Yeah. You just put it on and don't even.
The only problem is if you're holding anything and someone does a moment of brief acceleration, they could lose whatever they're holding.
Yeah.
You've experienced that before, haven't you?
I once or twice. Hey, do you remember those 3-position seat belts that I think my Saturn had that, where you come in and it automatically your arm fits into the seat belt automatically.
Where it's like partially engaged.
Partially deployed.
Yes, and there's an electric motor that usually does that.
Yes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
I liked it. I mean,
It was nice, but probably because the failure rates of the motors and things. I would
Right.
think would be the.
Yeah.
No, I've worked on them. I know what you're talking. A lot of older Lexuses have them.
Yeah.
Older Lexuses will have
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Here's something that's interesting. An older Lexus. Let's take 0102, like a bigger full size Lexus.
Okay.
The AC vents.
Yes.
Your vents that you adjust
Yes.
on the dash. It usually looks like the Bahama
the
shutters.
louver.
Bahama shutters that you
Mhm.
see in a house.
Right.
They move. There's an electric motor that moves them side to side and up and down
Okay.
automatically, and you can set the rate.
Wow. Oh, so they
So the
oscillate.
air,
Oh,
but with the fan, it's the actual fan motor the actual air is moving.
correct.
The electric motor on this, it's the shutters
Mm-hmm.
of the vent that are actually moving.
Right.
The air is still blowing out the same. It's just
Right.
distributing
it's just
it.
different. Like,
Similar like that. If you remember when we a couple of years ago, we road tested a Tesla that had the Model 3 that had you could like pretend you're playing music and then you could adjust the vents. There was no
Yes.
vents. It was just a solid horizontal core of air that came out.
That's
Do you remember
right.
that? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
I'd
was
forgotten it, but yes.
That was very,
yes.
you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
There's no vents. It was just a slit, a horizontal slit, probably 2.5 to 3 inches thick, height wise.
Right.
And there was no delineation or separation for venting or anything. And you could use your hands as if you were directing a music band
Mm.
and just like tell you your hands from, I suspect, a sonar type sensor would, make the airflow where you wanted it to go.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, that's Tesla.
Yeah. So the best part is no part. So there were no mechanical
There you
parts.
go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. That's
Best-
into
and
his mantra.
The best part is no part. Yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
And that's kind of what Tesla's done. It's not what Lucid Air did.
No.
In fact, they had so many parts, they had extras in the trunk when we went and rode. There was a bolt or
They had
something in there.
parts they hadn't used yet.
Yes.
Yes.
So we'll talk about that. And then we're also going to talk this hour, if we have time,
Mhm.
which I'd like to. I think we're going to get into it next. Some things about Crown Car Care and what we offer to our customers and guests that many shops don't offer. And it's been the culmination of at least a year of research from my wife, Tamara. And she has implemented and put in both shops a system. It's called TEK, METRIC, Techmetric. And it's computer based, it's cloud based, but it keeps all your records. And let's start from the beginning on what it
All right.
does. Because
Yeah.
why don't we take a break first, and then we'll come back and do it.
All right. We can do that. So stick with us. We've got a lot more to cover when we return. All right. You're listening to the Crown Car Care Show with Todd Harris. What do you got, Todd?
Well, I was going to tell you your medical records
Mm-hmm.
are very important for you to have, doctors to have, and have it centralized so you can access it, especially if you're, I don't know, going into the hospital or going to a doctor for some type of ailment or condition that you're bothering you.
Mm-hmm.
It's always good to look at the history.
Yes.
If you don't have the history, it could take longer to solve your problem.
To do the diagnosis.
It could take longer.
Yes.
If they know, let's say that you're on certain medication or you've been on a medication or you've had treatments for other things, that could solve the puzzle
Right.
faster,
Right.
better,
Right.
quicker,
Right.
more accurately.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the same with the car, Frank. Good history is important on a car. You have to know what you've done, when you did it, the mileage, list of the parts that you put on there, and it needs to be accessible at your fingertips so it's not a chore to get those records.
Right.
That's something we have at both our shops. Those records are yours. But just the care holders of them. All we do is keep them on file. And when we say on file, we do save our hard copy tickets, the paper tickets, because we always still print a paper ticket when it comes back into the shop. It's just important. But your records are saved electronically on a with a company called TEK METRIC, Techmetric, which is the leading company with this type of record keeping, point of sale systems. And I'll get into the other things that we do. One of the things that we do is all of our files and repairs are automatically uploaded to Carfax. So there's a total transparency. Let's say you move or you're on vacation somewhere and something happens. They can look at the history and they can get the history of Crown Car Care. All of our customers, the history is with Carfax, what we did, when we did it, and why we did it. It's fabulous. I would have to say I don't know of many. I pride myself in that because I think it's important.
Yes.
I think it adds to the why people come to us. And once you come to us and you taste it, you kind of expect it, and which is we're delighted to give it.
Yes.
Doesn't cost you anything. It's just something we provide. The other thing that we do, and we don't do it on every car, and we're starting to do it on every car. It's changing culture and getting implemented new ways is something you always have to do as a business and always want to do, and just takes the process of ingraining it in the culture of the business to make it happen is, takes time.
Right.
Just like any change, took me a while to learn to tie my shoes, took me a while to learn to ride my bike. We are starting now video inspections. So if your car is in, whether it be maintenance, service, or whatever, we will do a inspection of your vehicle, not just for what you came in for. We'll just do a safety inspection and complimentary, and it'll be a videotape. It'll be on record if there's an issue. Even if there's not an issue, we'll take pictures and upload them into the system. So we now have a visual record of the vehicle.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? Think about like an oil leak, Frank.
Yeah.
Think about an oil leak.
Or-
Guy comes in for an oil leak.
Hmm.
Okay. Wouldn't it be nice if you could actually see a video of what was going on and why and where?
Sure. Absolutely.
In fact, let me play. I recorded.
yeah.
I recorded one today.
All right.
Now, just leads right into it. It is. I'll tell you the history. It's a 2001 Porsche 911.
Okay.
And one of the problems with Porsche 911s from 99 to 2005 is a thing called an IMS bearing, intermediate shaft bearing. If it fails, the whole engine blows up. So people do it on a preventative maintenance mileage type replacement. Now, if you buy a used one, which happens to be this customer, you don't know. And in fact, with a Porsche, most don't trust.
Right.
But now I have a video record of it that goes with the car.
There it
So
is.
think about that.
Cool.
Now, let me play this because you can.
Do you have an audio?
I do. I'm
output?
going to do an audio.
Oh, you can use.
Right.
All right.
If you listen to this bearing, you can hear it's bad. Listen.
Oh yeah, I hear the grinding.
And there's playing it.
Wow.
Now,
Yeah.
that'll go with the customer.
Yes.
Now, think about the value and power of that.
Sure.
Does he know we did the job?
That noise is not supposed to be there.
No.
Yeah. Yes.
That's the engine bearing. It's not supposed to be there. But what I think is just so wonderful about this is if I say I did something and you know me,
Right.
you know I did it.
Right.
But if Sally from Western Martin County brings her diesel truck to me as a first-time customer, she doesn't know me.
Right.
She knows my reputation. She knows my Google reviews. She knows my business, but she doesn't really know, does she?
Right.
Now, let's just say this was her vehicle.
Yeah.
If I had a videotape of me putting a new bearing in, it only takes a second to do. Once you get good at it, it's no different than blowing your nose for a guy.
Right.
It is.
Right.
Now we have a record of it. Her car, she can tell it's her car, maybe the color of the paint, etc.
Hmm.
And you have a technician explaining what the issue is. And then you have another videotape of the finished product.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. To me, it ensures trust.
Before and after.
It doesn't allow any room for bad behavior.
Right. Right.
And that's how I want it to be. Everything needs to be transparent.
Sure.
And these videos and these inspections that we do, there is a special place built into the TechMetric software for that customer's file where we put those. It's like your safety deposit box of your vehicle that has all your records in it. Think about it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, isn't that kind of cool?
It's very cool.
Okay.
Very cool.
Now imagine if you said you're getting ready to sell your car, and it was a car that was maybe worth, I don't know, $15,000, $20,000, and you were asking a fair price for it, but the customer was, well, have you done any service on it? Wait a minute. Let me call Crown Car Care, and I'll see if they can send over all those videos and records. And then the customer that's getting ready to buy the car sees the videos, and not only are they buying the car, but you know where they're going for service.
Right. And
Right back to me, not from an advertising standpoint, but from an integrity standpoint.
Right.
Integrity works. Integrity sells. Integrity is so powerful in today's world that I think if you're a business that doesn't have records to ensure integrity,
Right.
you're on the downside, or downslide. You
Mm,
will be.
sure.
Integrity is everything. And to ensure integrity, you have to have a fair playing field. And by having TechMetric and some of the systems that we've put in place at our businesses, it ensures that there is honesty, no cheating. And not only is my word saying that, my records are showing that, my videos are showing that, my Carfax record is showing that at my business for you, the customer. That's the power of this
Right.
type of system. It's not what I say. Frank, you know me,
Right.
and
Of course.
you know me personally, and you know
Mhm.
I've worked on your car personally, and you know my word is my word.
Yes.
But again, though, not everybody knows me. Not everybody knows the technician that's working on the vehicle. And wouldn't that be nice? The power of you being so satisfied knowing that your work was done and done right.
Right. And that information, because it's with Carfax, also
Travels with the car.
Yes.
Oh, it's wonderful, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg with what we do with TechMetric. You
Mhm.
wouldn't think that a software system to help a company, you know, a repair shop, a two-shop repair shop in Martin County, we probably are the biggest in Martin County, I would think,
Mhm.
of the repair shops, outside dealerships. I know we are. That has a system in place that you would never think of, that how, once I explain it to you, how you wouldn't want to not have it.
Right.
You wouldn't want to not have it. Okay?
Yeah. And I like your safety inspection. And if by doing a video with the safety inspection, that also lets the customer know that, hey, you know, I did tell you that your shock absorber
But
could
now you
need
can
a-
see it.
Yes.
It's
And
not my word.
Right.
It's the visual record
Right.
and the sounds.
Right. Because when I was a kid growing up, and I drive my mom's 61 Chevy, right?
61.
Yes. And but so everybody was, oh, you need new ball joints. That was the thing that the repair shops would, you know, whether you needed new ball
Oh, they would
joints
hook you on.
right.
Or the shocks,
And
they
you-
would hook you on.
And you didn't know.
You didn't know, but now you know.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I don't care how much you think I'm good, how much you trust Crown Car Care.
Yeah.
I don't still. Now it's I'm not proving it to you. It's reinforcing what I'm saying. And
Right.
that's the word. It reinforces.
Right.
This isn't like a um a policing mechanism to ensure the integrity. It just enhances the integrity
Right.
of the system.
Right. It's intended for the customer.
It
Yeah,
is.
absolutely, as a beneficial
I
element.
personally, I happen to know the owner of this vehicle, and I sent the one we just played, and I'm sure everybody got to hear it because it was a well-made.
Yes,
You could really
good
hear
audio.
the noise. It was good audio.
Mm-hmm.
And here's what I sent it to him, and I will tell you, I sent it to him at 12:35
Mm-hmm.
this afternoon,
Okay.
12:35.
Right.
And within 2 minutes of me sending it to it, I said, "This is a video of the IMS bearing right before I pulled it out." I said, "It's bad, it's noisy, and has play in it." Caught just in time. Now,
Yeah.
he's the customer. Now,
Right.
I'm thinking about. My perspective is always in. I'm the one providing the service.
Right.
But how delightful would that be if you were the customer and not only the owner of the business, but your friend sent you a video of you doing the Porsche on this new Porsche he just bought used.
Right.
He just bought it.
Right.
And you know what his response was? "I'm glad it didn't go,"
Yeah.
because he knows.
Woof.
And you know what my response was? It would have been a bad day for a yellow Porsche.
Yeah.
It would have been about $30,000 for another motor.
Jeez.
Just from that bearing.
Wow.
The bearing's not cheap, though. That's an upgraded bearing, just so everyone knows.
Right.
That's an EMS brand IMS bearing with long tapered bearings. It cost $900 for the bearing.
Well, a lot cheaper than a new engine.
Yes. No, but you could buy
Whoa.
replacement bearings for $30 or $40. This is a special
High-tech.
high-tech bearing.
Mhm.
And he wanted that because it's going to be raced at Sebring.
Oh, well, there it is.
He's going to race it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to do it right. I'm
Oh,
putting a new
yeah.
clutch in it, and I'm doing the rear main seal.
Wow.
And you know what we call the rear main seal? If you're in the business, it's called the RMS,
Okay.
like the IMS.
Okay.
The IMS.
There's
and
an acronym for
RMS,
everything,
The
right?
RMS, the rear main seal.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love
So
it.
there is the power of the video. Here's what else we do.
Okay.
Okay. You're busy in your business or your work or teaching, and your car's in Crown Car Care for, let's just say, an oil change, and Nicole or Kristen needs to get a hold of you
Mhm.
and needs an air filter. Okay, that that could be a process. If you're a teacher, you got to call you on the phone, talk to you, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
TechMetric has a built-in system that it will send you a text, an
Nice.
official text. It'll show you a picture of the dirty air filter of your car, not just any car, your car. And that's, I have to reinforce this.
Yes.
It's your car's picture.
Right.
And all you have to do is check yes, replace it. And then the price is there. And you send it back as a text. You didn't have to interrupt your teaching. You
Right.
could read it real quick. And we can get the service done real quick for you.
Isn't
Instead
that
of having to wait a half day to get
Right.
authorization for an air filter that we couldn't get a hold of you on because you were teaching at school.
Wow.
That's the other benefit.
What a wonderful.
That's a neat system. Neat, huh?
That is awesome.
I can email receipts to you. I can do all kinds of things. There's note taking. I can take notes and put special notes in the repair order.
Right.
If there's certain things you like about us when we do your car, this customer likes 2 floor mats in his carpet.
Yeah.
You can put a note in there and it'll show up every time he comes in that we need to put 2 car mats. Some people eat with 2 forks. Some people have 2 spoons. Some
Right.
people like certain pepper or salt.
Right.
You'd be surprised at what people like.
Right.
And it's nothing out of the ordinary in our world. It's just a preference.
Yes.
And we can note preferences on TechMetric and make sure that we accommodate you this time and next time. And it remembers. It bundles up all your summaries and summary statements. I can send you if you say, hey, Todd, can you send me a condensed summary version of all the work that you've done at Crown Car Care? Because I'm thinking about selling my vehicle and I think it'll really add to the value. Absolutely. We'll email it right over to you. Or we'll text it to you for that matter.
Amazing.
TechMetric.
Wow.
It also has built in, there's also a system, Frank, that you can, if I need a part for a Chrysler Voyager minivan, let's say I'm looking for a rim.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what you were looking for.
Let's just say, yeah.
Let's say a front rim.
Yeah.
Okay. When your car's in the system, not only does it link up to all the parts stores here in town automatically,
Mhm.
I see all their inventory in real time.
Yeah.
I can choose and pick based on price, quality, whatever I want to use my criteria on.
Mhm.
If I need to know how many quarts of oil your engine holds, it's already there listed for me. If I need to know torque specs, it's already there. If I need to know how much labor it costs to do a water pump for your Chrysler Voyager, you don't have to run back and ask a technician. It's built in. We can add it and drop it right into your estimate for you.
Wow.
It really is.
It's a time saver too.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
People that work for me use it as their time clock. They punch in and out.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah. I can see how long it's taken. Like, let's say a Chrysler Voyager minivan comes in.
Right.
It needs a front rim.
Yeah.
We want to see how long it takes for the technician to pull the rim off and put a tire on there. We'll know that data gives you that data. It gives me efficiency data, productivity data, numbers.
Sure.
Gives me all that stuff.
Just like the dealership.
Just like the dealership.
Nice. But do you work on Buick Fauci's?
Well, what's the Buick Fauci?
Introducing the Buick Fauci with built-in GPS that's got you covered wherever you go.
Fauci, I'd like to drive to the bank.
That's a good reason for a mask.
Other GPS systems make driving predictable, but when it comes to giving directions, the Fauci can't make up its mind.
Fauci, take me to Macy's.
I don't think we have enough information to do that, quite honestly.
Driving in bad weather is never an issue because the Fauci doesn't follow the science. It follows the teachers' unions.
Fauci, I need to drop my kid off at school.
I totally disagree with you.
The Buick Fauci, the car that's been locking down the competition for over a year.
Fauci, can you show me how to get to the theater?
Here we go again with the theater. Let's get down to the facts.
something in it for you. Call or visit your local USDA Service Center. Brought to you by the Natural Resources Conservation Service.
Farm loan borrowers will be able to make payments to their direct loans online. It's through the new Pay My Loan feature on farmers.gov, which goes live in early February. Pay My Loan is part of a broader effort by USDA's Farm Service Agency to streamline its processes, especially for producers who may have limited time during the planting or harvest seasons to visit a local FSA office, as well as to modernize and improve customer service, provide additional customer self-service tools, and expand credit access to assist more producers. On average, local USDA service centers process more than 225,000 farm loan payments each year. Pay My Loan gives most borrowers an online repayment option and relieves them from needing to call, mail, or visit a service center to pay their loan installment. Farm loan payments can now be made at the borrower's convenience, on their schedule, and outside of FSA office hours. I'm Sabrina Halverson for the Southeast AgNet.
Hi, this is Tamara from Crown Car Care. Get help and advice from our expert master mechanic and owner, Todd Harris, by listening to Crown Car Care Talk on WSTU. Call us at 772-781-8000 or visit us online at crowncarcare.net.
Join the program every Wednesday evening at 5 p.m. or stop by Crown Car Care, Martin Highway in Palm City, or Cove Road in Stewart. Crown Car Care in Palm City and Stewart and Jasper Engines and Transmissions offer a cost-effective solution to your present engine or transmission trouble. Avoid a costly new car purchase or high lease payments by putting new life into your present vehicle. Let Crown Car Care install a Jasper remanufactured engine or transmission with a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide warranty and available premium service plan. Call Crown Car Care 772-781-8000. That's 772-781-8000.
You are listening to WSTU, Stewart, Jupiter, and Indian.
Professional Super Stock Showdown! This Saturday night at Detroit Trackway, Plymouth and Chrysler Corporation fans will be cheering for the #1 car in the country, Ronnie Sox and Buddy Martin in the Sox and Martin Plymouth. Chevrolet and General Motors fans will be cheering for their man, the fastest Chevrolet in the United States, the Ford 27 Camaro of Bill Grumpy Jenkins. Dodge fans will be cheering for a brand new Super Stock, the all-new Dodge Challenger Super Stock of the Ram Chargers. Detroit area Chevy lovers will see the fast-rising Camaro Super Stock of Mike Bond. Ford enthusiasts are counting on the 429 Maverick of Fast Eddie Shartman. Pontiac fans cheering for Arnie Beswick. Bill Jenkins taking on Ronnie Sox and the Ram Chargers. A wide-open professional Super Stock showdown with everybody there. Saturday night, 8 p.m. at Detroit Trackway. Simply at Dick's.
That's a great
I used to listen to that every week. They would do that at CKLW.
Oh,
the Big 8. Yes.
The most satisfying cars from Consumer Reports, March issue. #1, Chevrolet Corvette.
Yes.
#2 is going to surprise you.
Okay.
Rivian.
Whoa, number 2.
We're going to talk about Rivian.
Wow.
You're going to be shocked on this.
Wow.
Okay, #2 is #3 is the Mazda Miata.
Okay.
#4 is the Lexus hybrid plug-in NX. Okay.
Okay.
#5 is the BMW X5. #6, the Rivian again,
Wow.
R1.
The R1.
Okay.
Wow.
So they're on the top. Okay. Ford Maverick, #6. And I'd like to drive a Ford Maverick hybrid. I think, do you know that's taking the world by storm? People, they can't keep them in stock. Ford Mavericks.
Yes.
They're reasonable. They're cheap and they get great mileage and they're supposed to be nice.
Yes. My previous tenant at my old shop is telling me that she just loves her Maverick.
Let's get one. Let's road test one. I like the road test. Ford Maverick.
She's getting crazy gas mileage.
Like almost 50 miles a gallon.
Yeah. 46, I think she said she was getting. Yeah.
So just said.
Yeah.
Honda Pilot, Kia Telluride, and the Hyundai Ioniq. But I drive one of those.
Right.
I have one of the Crown car.
Right.
Okay. Before I get into Lisa, I don't know how much time we have, which is not much.
We've got what, about 4 minutes?
Okay.
Yeah.
The number one brand, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Number one brand for owner satisfaction is Rivian.
Wow. Number one.
Number one. Huh? Number one, Rivian.
Wow. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
There's,
Doesn't that tell you something?
well,
I'm changing my tune on Rivian. People like them.
yeah.
Yeah. It's just we had that nice gentleman, Mr. Chapman, was in. Remember, he let us road test his. He took a
Yes.
wonderful car.
Yes.
And he loved it.
Yes.
And it wasn't just he loved it. You know, a lot of people love the things they made a mistake buying because they don't want to admit it to the world.
Right.
I do that. I mean, oh yeah, how do you like that new jeans? Oh yeah, I love them. Love them.
Can't wait till I get another. Yeah.
But this is real. Okay, number 2 is Mini, which kind of shocked me.
Mm-hmm.
3 is BMW. Kind of shocked me. 4 is Porsche. Okay. But number 5 is Tesla.
Wow. All right. Okay.
I'm just Genesis, then
right.
Lexus, then Subaru.
So the Mini Cooper
is number 2.
Yeah.
And that's owned by BMW. So BMW really has number 2 and 3 slots.
Wow.
Okay. How
that's
about
good I think that's as much of marketing as more than product, right?
Oh, I'm just shocked. Okay.
Yeah.
The most satisfying from a comfort standpoint.
Okay. This
Rivian is number 6.
Okay.
Porsche is number 1, Genesis, Audi, BMW, Lexus. Okay. Driving experience. Tesla's number 1, Rivian's number 2.
Wow.
I'm blown away. This is like, I'm going to remember this day, January 31st, 2024, when the electric cars are taking on the world stage, and
they're blowing away the competition.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
Okay. Cabin storage. Number 3 is Tesla, and number 5 is Rivian.
See that? Wow.
Ram is there, Lincoln, Chrysler. We're highlighting the electric cars here now. Okay. Usability. No electric cars. Genesis, Lincoln, Jeep, Cadillac, BMW, and Buick. Buick Fauci.
You can't forget that one.
Ownership cost. Okay. Cost of ownership. It includes cost for fuel, insurance, maintenance, and repairs.
Okay.
Number 1, ladies and gentlemen, is Tesla. Number 2 is Hyundai, which I would. Right. But number 3, Rivian.
Wow.
Back again.
Wow.
So they're going to be with us a while.
I think so.
If you make a good product, people love it.
Yeah. And they got new plants coming up online.
Kind of like Crown Car Care. Yeah. We make a good product.
Right.
Most people love us.
Right.
Go on my business reviews, Google reviews. There's a couple bad ones, but it's real, man.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Right.
You can't please everybody all the time. And it's whatever. But we always respond. We always respond nicely, and we always accommodate them however we can if they had a bad experience.
That's right.
And I'm truthful and forthcoming because my Google business reviews are public information.
That's right.
And I want them to be.
Yeah.
Even the bad ones. You need to read them.
Yeah.
Right. Mazda and then Kia for cost of ownership, but Tesla and Rivian are there again. That blows me away.
1 and 3.
Yes. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Now, least satisfying cars. I think we had enough time.
We got plenty of time.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The least satisfying cars, because this is the bad ones.
Okay.
Okay. Let me get to here. It is right here. Number 1, ladies and gentlemen. 48% dissatisfaction. Nissan Altima.
Wow.
Now, on the most satisfying, the Rivian R1 is number 2. 88% satisfaction from customers being surveyed that own them.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting?
That is very high.
It's unheard of, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Ford Maverick, though, 83%.
Wow.
People love the Ford Mavericks.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, they're under 20.
They're neat.
They're like
looking.
14, 15,000.
Yeah.
It's a pickup truck.
Sure.
Yeah. It's not like the Ford Maverick I learned to drive on.
No.
Okay. Or they were racing on that car.
Yes.
And it was a Ford Maverick. It had Ronnie Socks and the
Right.
Ram Chargers.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Dissatisfying Kia Forte.
Yeah.
47% dissatisfaction.
Mhm.
Basically a piece of crap. Some cars I can say that with.
Yes. POS.
But I have to say that.
Yeah.
I'm a repair guy.
Yes.
I can't look you in the eye and say,
Oh,
got to.
This is a keeper.
No. Mercedes C-Class.
Mhm.
Very high dissatisfaction. Did you
Wow.
notice Mercedes was not on one of these lists?
Yes.
Now, okay. Owner satisfaction, number 24th was Mercedes-Benz. And then 25 was Audi. What does that tell you?
Wow.
Is the world changing on us? I think
Good God.
there's a change.
There
going on.
is. Wow.
Rivian.
Talk about disruptive influence.
Yes.
Yeah. I started with
It's
Tesla.
called creative destruction.
Mm.
Isn't that what they call it? Creative destruction.
It could be. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Another horrible one is the Nissan Sentra.
Okay.
Which I've known that.
Okay.
Volkswagen Jetta. Good car. Good diesels are good, but some of the things happen. Some of the electronics and some things, there's issues. Oil leaks. And the Infiniti Q50, which is a small SUV. So interesting. A big takeaway on this, and I think you read between the lines like I did. And right, it was very interesting. So
yes. So
Rivian really is the takeaway on this for me.
Yeah.
That was my draw on this whole thing.
Big
I looked at all the numbers. I looked at all the information. I says, you know what? There's something hiding in between all this data.
Yeah. But the way they're rolling out their product and how, it's cumbersome for us down here in South Florida to even get a test drive.
I know. I want to drive one. Can we? Where's the nearest one?
Either Miami or Orlando. There are only two options.
I think Miami would be closer, wouldn't it? We could go down there. Take the Bright Line down there.
Oh, there.
If you're interested, I'm interested, Frank. We'll take the Bright Line.
All right.
I think I have 2 free tickets on my app. They give it to you when you signed up for the app. They gave you 2 free tickets.
Wow.
So we could take the Bright Line down there, and we can have them boys pick us up in a Rivian and road test this thing.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be fun.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So
sign me up.
So what do we got?
This will be after you come back from your
Tesla training in 2 weeks. But I'm going to call you from up there. We'll do a show from up there.
Yes, of course.
We've done it before,
Yes. Yeah. It'll be good.
Of course. It'll be cold. I'll be in Worcester, Massachusetts. Worcester.
Oh, I thought you were going to be in the Carolinas.
No, Massachusetts.
Oh my God.
It's cold up there, I think.
Woo.
Up there, and it's a old community.
Yeah, it is.
It's been around a long time. So fabulous. Good night, everybody.
Well, listen, don't forget to give Todd a call at 781-8000. And you can also go on his website, crowncarcare.net, crowncarcare.net, and leave a review too.
Yeah, same people that do my website do Jasper Engines.
Okay, very good.
Same outfit.
Okay, very good. And we'll see you next week right here at the Crown Car Care Show. Thanks for listening.